The Joe Rogan Experience.
What is the plan in terms of the government? I mean, if they can take out a guy like El Chapo, what is the plans to eradicate all this? And is there really a plan to eradicate it, or is it one of those things where it's sort of a plan on paper, but realistically they sort of accept the fact they're never going to get rid of these people?
So I have a thing like basically Quetzalcoatl was a feathered serpent, and I have an image of a feathered serpent biting its tail. Mexico has a problem with amnesia, a 6-year cycle of amnesia. Every president comes in, has all these plans to eradicate the cartels. President goes out, nobody likes him anymore. New guy comes in and says, well, I have a better plan, and that's the cycle we always go through.
So it's a big issue in Mexico.
Yeah, and currently we have a leftist president that doesn't want to have anything to do with the past administrations that are more on the right of the spectrum. Mm-hmm. His name is Andrés Manuel López Obrador, AMLO, vocally supporting Venezuela, that type of guy. Apparently, he has a good relationship with Trump. That's what people say. But his whole thing was amnesty for the cartels. That's a campaign promise.
Amnesty?
Yes. And
what does that mean?
Exactly. Nobody knows what that means.
But that's what he was saying? Did he have a plan for this amnesty, or is it just like a statement?
It was a statement, and now if you see counter-narcotics operations throughout the country, the military is not as active as it used to be.
Whoa.
Some of the cartels are growing in influence.
Because of amnesty?
Could be. Basically, I don't see the efforts that were there when I was active down there.
Oh, geez.
Things change, So I don't know. I truly think that the absurd, because we're on route to having the most violent year in Mexico as far as cartel related deaths. Right. When I got out, Tijuana had been on the top most dangerous cities on the planet list, and I actually worked there when it was on the top. And through efforts both from the government and through people like Lieutenant Colonel Leizaola, Tijuana was gone off the list of most dangerous cities in the world, and now it's again at number 1. Right?
Yeah, you sent me that. I was pretty shocked because you don't hear about that here.
Yeah, it's 6 murders a night. I was down there 2 days ago, and it's basically cartel on cartel. So they're cleaning each other out, and just bodies appear in the morning, on bridges, hung from bridges, tortured, shot, that's, but again, there's nobody's doing anything about it. It should, but they're kind of turning a blind eye in a lot of ways.
Oh, man. And so with this leftist president, this guy who has this idea of amnesty, the people that are in charge of handling the cartel, the military and the police officers, they've got to feel like a little abandoned.
Yeah. Or maybe some of them have a business plan and they're working at one side.
Oh, so that's a problem too.
Yeah. So people that aren't aware, we have a separation of powers down there as well. So the Army constitutionally shouldn't be engaged in combating the cartels. They shouldn't be engaged in police roles. But there were some amendments done to the Constitution and laws passed. But you have to realize that some of these people that are fighting the cartels in a policing type role from the military, some of them can't read, right? Or some of them come from rural parts of Mexico that shouldn't be doing that type of activity. So you get a lot of failures on that side of the fence. We do have some high-level SF community members in Mexico that are doing the work, but they're few and far between. And then you have the federal police, which has gone through about 4 or 5 name changes in the past, 10 years. Because every time, we're not going to call them that, change the uniform because they're all corrupt.
Jesus.
But now they're this police, right?
So they just change appearances.
They change the name, but
try to refresh the public opinion of it.
Yeah, there's a famous, federal investigation police called the AFI, and they were like modern investigative federal police that's going to go after, and they were corrupt as hell, And all they did was get a name change, and all these guys got shuffled around, and later on I was like, hey, I know you, like what? No, I'm this now,
But they're still the same person who compromised.
Yes.
Yeah.
So those are the federal guys, right? Currently, they want to do like a national police force. And you're like, wow, they're going to get new people. They're going to be national police force. No, it's the same guy. Just change uniform, change a hat. So that's on the federal side, So we're pretty, wanting there. State side, each state has their own police force, investigation police force, and a preventative type force. And these are politicized because each state government may be opposed to the federal government. So there's some static there now. And each municipality has its own police force, and they might be completely different politically than the state and federal. So